I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be when your game is tight. I've got an email here from a viewer who's done a really good job of turning things around in his life. And he's basically now at the point where he has choice with women. And so he shares a story of how he went to a wedding recently with a woman he was kind of seeing casually. And after she left, he continued hanging out and having fun and chatting up other ladies there, because obviously it doesn't sound like he's in a committed relationship. But what I liked about his email, and the reason why I wanted to discuss it, is because I get a lot of guys contact me. I get a lot of phone sessions. Guys are like, well, how do I talk to him? What do I do? What are the kinds of things I say? And this, what you get from this guy here is his mindset and how he just goes through his life enjoying himself. And when he sees someone he's interested in, how he goes about interacting with her and how it sets him apart from everybody else's there. And so other guys are looking at him going, how do you do that? Why does it look so easy? So I have a quote that I wrote on this particular topic, and then we're going to go through his email and see what he did. And the quote says, men who are successful with women and who have lots of choices and options with women tend to treat all women the same. They make all women feel beautiful and special simply because that is their gift to them. They never put any woman on a pedestal because they know that if they did, they would be treating themselves as if they somehow have lesser value than the woman they're interacting with. They view other women as equals and teammates, not fellow human beings who are any better or any worse than they are. They know that women like men who are curious about them and sincerely interested in who they are as human beings. They also know that women want to be understood and heard and feel like they are the most important person in the world to them. The most likable people are the kind of people who engage you in a conversation and make you feel like you're the only other person in the world. A wise sage once said that the reason why we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth is because we should listen twice as much as we speak. If you want to develop your flirting and charm skills, sincerely become interested in other people by asking questions and being a great listener. So let's go through his email. He says, hey coach, when your game is tight, your game is tight. Today I was the toast of the party. My friends are wondering how I have become so confident and so good with women. I have read your book 3 times, and I managed to watch as many of your videos as I can. I can confidently say I am on my way to being a 3% man. I continue to read your book, and I can see the progress every day. He's focused on the fundamentals. He's focused on trying to get a little bit better each day. That's all you can do. Everything in life that you want to become great at or that you want to achieve, really, it's just small little daily goals, little action steps that you take today. If you got something that you want to create, whether you want to lose weight or, I mean, everything in life, you don't so much want to focus on the goal that you want to achieve. You want to focus on the process that you've got to be involved in. Getting in great shape, having a great body. It's a result of a process. It's not going into the gym one time and boom, working out one day and you walk out like Miss Arnold Schwarzenegger. It doesn't work that way. It's a process. If you're not very successful with women or you're very shy and you're just afraid to talk to people in general, it's a process to become confident. At one point in my life, I was very shy. If you ask the women I went to high school with, they'll all, first thing out of their mouth, you were always so shy in high school. Now, I don't look at this as a big deal being good with women. I'm just friendly to people wherever I go. And it's amazing how being inquisitive and asking questions and just being a good listener and taking authentic, sincere interest in other people. I like hearing other people's stories. I like hearing about their businesses or their careers or why they chose the things that they chose to do that are now either their business or their careers or the things that they're striving for. To me, that shit's fascinating. And since that's fascinating to me, I'm very inquisitive and I'm always asking people questions wherever they go. How'd you get into that? How'd you decide to do that? I'm looking at the thought process. I'm fascinated by that. It's what I do for a living. So it's easy for me to be interested in what other people got going on. And especially when it comes to women, especially really beautiful women, because most guys, they look and go, wow, nice boobs, nice butt, really pretty face. I want to hit that. And so they're thinking, what do I got to do to hit that? How do I get that pussy? How do I tap that ass? How do I grab them boobies? How do I motorboat those things? Instead of, what's she like? What's she all about? What are her passions? What's she interested in? What's she like to do for fun? What's her story? You can actually say, hey, what's your story? It's another great opener for people. Tell me a little bit about you. What are you most fascinated by? What are you really interested in? What do you like to do for fun? What's the craziest thing you ever did? If you're inquisitive, those things naturally roll off your tongue. If you're in sales, or if you want somebody to hire you, those are the kinds of things you're going to ask. How'd you get into this? What brought you to this company? Is it a great place to work? Do you like working here? What do you like most about working here? Be sincerely interested in other people. We all love to talk about ourselves. We are our own favorite people. And when somebody comes along and they're sincerely interested in who you are, I mean, think about it. You meet a member of the opposite sex and they go, God, you're so hot. You're so fucking amazing. It feels good. It feels good to hear something like that. It's like, yeah, all right. I like this person. I like this lady. And it's like, this is a great gal. She's smart. He says, today I attended a wedding and I went with a lady who I had been seeing for a while. We chilled, we had fun, and after a while she left. But as soon as she left, I was ready to mingle and practice what I had read and learned from you. Notice he's dating a girl, but he's not just fixated and focused on her. He's like, I want to get better. There's other opportunities here. He says, I walked up to the cutest lady I could find and I asked her for her name. She told me her name and then she smiled. I then created a conversation around what she does. What was I just saying? And before I knew it, she came to sit down by me. Because now here's a guy who's not going, wow, nice boobs. He's like, tell me about what you do. Wow, that's fascinating. How'd you get into that? That's interesting. I continued to ask her questions, and before I knew it, she was talking and telling me about the 97% of the guys and her livelihood. In other words, she gets hit on all the time by guys that have no fucking clue. Trying to make her laugh. They're trying to be cool. They're trying to play it cool. Instead of just, who are you? What are you all about? Her friends came over and told her they were leaving, and she was not even bothered. Isn't that interesting? She had a much higher interest in chatting with you because you're probably the first guy in God knows how long that actually was interested in who she was as a human being. Not just, wow, you got great boobs. There's nothing wrong with the great boobs and the great butt, but what else is there? Are you more than just a pretty face? She stayed with me, and the conversation became more intense. She then took my phone number, damn, she asked for your number, and called me immediately to make sure I had her phone number. What does that tell me? She's like, holy shit, this is the first guy that's come along in my life. Let me get his number, and let me make sure that he's got my number. This is what women that have a high level of interest do. And what he did here was he revealed her interest. He didn't so much create attraction as reveal it by being interested in who she was as a human being. My friends were so impressed. They continued to tell her how cute she was, and they were shocked to see that I had her attention totally. Yeah, they're kissing her ass, trying to buy her attention and bribe her for sex with bullshit compliments. There's nothing wrong with like, wow, you're really cute, you're really beautiful. Tell me about yourself. What do you do? What brings you here? Who do you know at the wedding? Do you know the groom? Do you know the bride? Why are you here? Who do you know? How'd you get in here? Are you a wedding crasher? She was clearly having fun, and I continued to lead the conversation. After about an hour, she said she was going to meet her friends at an after party, or at the after party. She then said, if you come, please find me. If not, you have my number. Notice how she reminds him, hey, you got my number. Notice what she's focusing on. She's getting his number, making sure he's got her number, and then before she leaves, she reminds him, hey, you got my number. This is what a woman does when she's into you. When she's not, she's like, she's trying to get the fuck out of there. I later went to the after party, and rather than go meet her, I struck up a conversation with another lady. Fucking James Bond, look at you go, dude. She's thinking, there's that guy who's talking to another pretty girl. What the fuck? I got to do something about it, because very rare that a woman meets a guy who's like this, that's sincerely interested in who they are. You don't have any competition when you do this. Most people are too shallow and too stuck in who they are to learn these kinds of things. To my surprise, well, not to mine, she came to find me and she stayed very close to me. She left about an hour later and said again that it will be nice to continue the conversation another day. Third time, hey, get in touch with me. Do you think she likes him or not? It's pretty fucking obvious. My friends were totally surprised. Well, if you've ever been through Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie compiled that data, that information over 100 years ago from the world's richest men at the time. Guys like J.P. Morgan, Dale Carnegie, not Dale Carnegie, what was his name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think. The other Carnegie, the guy was the steel guy. But, I mean, he learned from the world's most successful people back then, and he put all that stuff, and it's 1,000 years from now, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it'll be applicable 1,000 years from now as it is 100 years after the stuff's all been written down. My friends were totally surprised, and they were like, how did I do it? Coach, I continue to read your book, and I can see the benefits. I used to have serious relationship problems, but now I have too many cute girls wanting to hang out with me. Oh, you poor baby. It's the choices you must have to make. Oh. The funny thing is, the lady I met today does not even know my name, but I already know a lot about her. I guess I will call her and set a date. I guess you shall, and you'll have to suffer through that, I'm sure. You know what? More than likely, she'll probably reach out to you. It's possible, but I wouldn't wait on that. But bottom line is you got her number. Call her after a few days. Hey, love to see you. When are you free to get together? Really simple. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I shall talk to you soon.